very quickly move on to, I always see the transcription for some reason. I'm going to find my PowerPoint if I can, and we will just make sure that it's here. And I'm going to do a couple of things. Firstly, of course, we are going to talk to the PowerPoint. We're going to talk to the background of what this course is, what the expectations are, the teaching platforms that we use, as well as a certain information around assignments and exams. And of course, to introduce you to the lecturers, which we have done already. Let me just start sharing, and just give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Let's see. Once I go into presentation mode, however, I will not be able to see your thumbs up or anything like that. Let me just move to slideshow. Excellent. Yes. So the three lecturers involved in this course are myself, Rafia, Advocate Nasluba, and Professor Herter. It is the legal aspects of electronic commerce, and you will find as you go through the materials and so forth that legal aspects are quite different from the normal discussions that happen around electronic commerce. We are talking about the rules and regulations, certain ideas around what they should be and what they already are. There are many different aspects of intellectual property that come in, many aspects of contractual law, and taxes. So it's a variety of different things. It's a very interesting and dynamic course. So keep that in mind. The module code, of course, is LML4810. It is a fully online course. So everything that you need for the course will be found online on the My Module site. It is part of course, the 4-year LLB program. It is an elective. It is a final year elective. And we will talk to more of this later, but that would mean a certain level of expectations from our side to you. So our expectations of original thought are being able to do certain amount of research and referencing and all of those sort of wonderful things. But I think I'm going to leave that to Professor to talk to towards the end. So we have usually around 150 students for this module. Of course, it is an online module. You'll find it on the My Module site. As I've said, for 2023. So you will have a number of tutorial letters that deal with different issues. So you have the 101, the 102, and 103. So you will have the 101 that talks about general administrative issues. 102 deals with the writing of assignments and, sort of information about the different learning units. Would give you a sort of a guideline of what what each learning unit is about. Those will be provided to you through the course of, they're not the learning units, but more information on them will be provided to you through the course of the term. So we will have narrated PowerPoints that give you greater guidance on how to approach those things, how to place the cases that are given to you, as well as the articles within those learning units, which ones are important for which one, that you'll find in the 102, and added to that will be the narrated PowerPoints. You will find that they are prescribed sources. Remember, this is a fully online module, so all of those actually are provided to you on the My Module site. And before we go further, I just want to go a little bit back and go on to the My Module site. I don't know if you guys can see it already. You'll see you have the 2023 site. There's a welcome message.
Yes, we can see.
And you will see here different folders. You have prescribed reading list of journal articles here. You've got cases, and you've got the legislation instrument and instruments, as well as extracts for books. All of these are already on your site. You do not have to go to the library site to download them. You do not, that is not a necessary thing for you. You find everything on our module site. So that is quite important. Open it up, click on the information. For example, if you do that, you'll see a prescribedly, there's the list of cases, and all you do is you click on it and it opens up. Okay, fairly easy, I would think. There are sometimes we might place additional sources. We will also have announcements, and you'll see that the announcement for this class, as well as I've just provided you another announcement with just the email addresses of all the lecturers, because of course, that might change over time, and we might just need to change things. Any additional resources we'll put under additional resources. There will be a narrated PowerPoints will come in here, and we'll talk to this wonderful folder called templates when we talk a little bit about plagiarism and so forth. Now moving back to the PowerPoint, you will find, sorry, I just want to move this little thing here out of the way so I can do this. We use MyUnice, of course, as I've shown you. We do have a discussion section as well. Of course, we monitor that for good behavior and not calling each other out and so forth, but it's really very much your playground. We do announcements, we give feedbacks on a lot of things. When you are communicating to us, and this is very important. So our communication will happen mostly through the My Module site, almost, I think, completely through the My Module site. When you talk to us, you have to use your My Life email address. We are not allowed to respond to students using their work emails or their private emails. So please use your My Life email address. So the assignment and exam, all of this will happen on the module site. So unlike the other modules where you have to go to the My Exam site for your exams, that does not apply to us. Everything happens on the site. You'll see there's a number of assignment portfolios. There are only 2 assignments. So assessment 1 and 2 is where you will find your assignments. The other portfolios that are created and at this point are still hidden from you are for the exam and for the students who qualify for supplementaries. Their supplementary will be in another portfolio. So those are 3 and 4. You don't have to worry about that. But just remember, everything will be on this module site, please. We might send up a group Teams folder. This hasn't worked very well previously. I will try and do it again, but what we have found that communicating through the My Module site and putting narrated PowerPoints and lectures online on a YouTube linked site that we then send you the link to works far better. So that is what we'll be doing. So we will have narrated PowerPoints on the content and live classes. So this is our first introductory class. Your second one will deal with assignment 1, and any sort of Q&A questions that you might have, those will have to be emailed to us prior to that class, so we prepare for that, for any questions that you may have. We will then have a second assignment class where we will give you feedback on assignment 1, tell you about assignment 2, and have a Q&A. Again, any of the questions have to be emailed beforehand so that we can prepare, because of course, there may be things that we are very good at answering very quickly on the fly. But it is best that you ask us beforehand so that we make sure that we address any questions that you have on the content, please. We cannot answer, questions around how the site works, my assignment questions around, submitting assignments and things like that. Those are the purview of the assignment section. So please make sure that you email the right people with the question, because we will not be able to help you with technological issues or technical issues that deal with my assignments and so forth, and things like that. The final live class will be an exam preparation class, and that we will also give you some feedback on assignment 2 and those sort of things. I'm going to pause just for a moment there and talk to the folder that we have, the secret folder called template. Um, it is not a folder where you would want your work to be. And the reason for that is that folder comprises of, as lecturers, when we mark, we will find that certain copied answers have been used by students. This is a final year subject. You will get essay type questions, problem type questions, which would require for you to show us your creativity. And when we find those copied answers, believe me, and we will find them, it's surprisingly, we find them fairly quickly. So those will be uploaded, and you will be warned that we will, you'll get a 0, you'll be warned not to do this again. You will be warned again for assignment 2, and in the exam, we will end up having to give you a 0. And it is just because, of course, you are lawyers. One day you will be out there and dealing with clients, and you will not be able to copy somebody else's work. You will get far more complicated scenarios from your clients than we will ever be able to give. And you have to behave in an ethical manner. And so we request that you take this very seriously and really give us your work. But we will talk to plagiarism in far greater detail when we have that first live class on assignment 1. I'm just already bringing this up. Please. So there are 2 assignments and a portfolio exam. So all of these, even your exam is a take-home exam. You're given a certain amount of time to do it. The dates are the ones we are going to mention later, are the dates that are already set on the site. So there are 2 assignments that count for 49% of your mark, and then you will have an exam that counts for 51% of your mark. They are mandatory assignments. You have to do them to be able to get to the exam. And the reason why they are mandatory is, of course, if you look at the weight they carry, we would like you to attempt them as best as you can, but do attempt them. Make sure when you upload, you are not uploading a draft, you're uploading your final assignment, please. So those are all important technical things that you need to make sure of. You upload in the right place, within the right amount of time, and that you upload the final. Please, please, please do that. Attempt both assignments. They are in the process of being uploaded. I mean, I jumped the gun on this one. I'm sorry, Professor Hurta, your computer crashing was not taken into account when I was working on this PowerPoint, but they will be uploaded as soon as possible, technological issues aside. The assignment 1 is due on the 30th of March, assignment 2, 18th of March. Any extensions that will be given are given by the university and not us. So please, these are the dates as set out already, and any extensions, if there are issues of whatever the reasoning behind the university giving the extension, it is up to them. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do not assume that there will be an extension either, please. Of course, the exam is in the May-June exam, and if you qualify for whatever reason for a supplementary, it will be in the October-November exam period. Yeah. So just to give you a overview of the module itself, it's to give you a comprehensive knowledge and insight into legal aspects, and then emphasize the legal aspects of electronic commerce. So we will deal with selected topics. We cannot cover everything that one could possibly talk to here. It is a final year elective module at an undergraduate level. At a postgraduate level, of course, it's far more comprehensive. But at this point, we do choose very selected topics, and that is to provide you with a great sort of overview of everything. What do we expect? We want you to be able to identify and investigate the role of e-commerce. And this includes regional and international trends. So when we say regional, we're talking Southern SADC, ESC, and COMESA at the very least, in understanding what is happening there. And if you do not know what those acronyms are, SADC is the Southern African Development Community, ESC is the East African Community, COMESA is the community, oh gosh, Eddie, do you remember what that acronym stands for? It's also Southern Africa. It is the Common Market of Southern Africa. So all of those regional organizations have their sort of things that they talk to or implement, and it's very good to know what's happening on the African continent. We also talk a little bit on what is happening generally on the African continent, and of course, international trends. E-commerce does not stop at the border. So we do have to understand what is happening and how interconnected our worlds are with respect to this. A lot of the time we learn quite strongly from international and regional bodies, and when we are developing our own rules and regulations. We want you to understand a critical understanding of sort of what are the most pressing issues currently, and understand that e-commerce, it crosses legal, sort of little containers that exist. They'll say, oh, we trademark and tax, and in e-commerce, everything comes together. Okay. So just remember all of those, that sort of the idea of where e-commerce is. So what are the different learning units? Of course, legal aspects of e-commerce. So we are talking about legislative terms. We have very set of legislations that deal with different things. There are trends happening internationally, regionally, and of course within South Africa. We constantly, this is an ever-changing environment. So keep that in mind. We do talk about generally about contracts and internet contracts specifically. Consumer protection really comes in quite strongly. We have new legislation there. Copyright, of course, it's very easy to be done through technological means and on the internet. So that becomes a big topic of conversation. Databases, how they operate, and all of those sort of things. Domain names and trademarks, again, very important. You've got things like squatting that happens, where people, basically buy a domain name and sit and wait for somebody to come in, pay them off or things like that. So there's a lot of these lovely issues that come in. And of course, taxation in e-commerce is very interesting for the very simple reason that in e-commerce has no boundaries. So if you've got somebody that is selling something from a different country and the consumers in South Africa, or the other way around, how do the taxes work? How does one really deal with all of those very convoluted things? So at this point, I'm going to take a very quick pause. I'm going to ask Professor Herter and Advocate Sluba if they would like to add something on before I talk to what the next class is going to be. I'm just going to stop sharing just for a moment.
Thanks, Mr. Gama. Yes, just from my side, thank you very much for the structure. As Mr. Gama has mentioned, this is notice from the topic.
Professor Herter, you're very faint. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. We can hear you fine.
So is that better now?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, okay. You'll notice from the topics that even though it's quite specific in the aspects that we deal with, it deals with the basics of each topic. We don't have the opportunity within a semester, within this, one semester module, to obviously teach you everything about all of those topics, because all of those topics are very complicated day-to-day, topics that will you'll notice every day keeps on changing and developing. And so there are lots of principles that could be relevant at present or going forward that we will not necessarily discuss in detail within this module. The idea behind this module is to sort of introduce you to some of the aspects relevant. For example, contracting on the internet, e-commerce contracting. So it's the very basics of what you should be aware of regarding contracting on the internet. But of course, it's a much larger, much more involved topic. So the aim of this module is to introduce you to the basic framework of the things we regard as at least a very good legal basis to to these topics and to e-commerce in general. So there will obviously be a number of new developments that you might be aware of, and some of these, specific topics that we won't be addressing into any particular detail. But we hope you find this module useful in introducing you at least to the basic principles of the legal concepts regarding e-commerce. So yes, we hope you enjoy the module, and we look forward to working with you. And yes, please email us if there are any questions. We're here to assist. But as Mr. Gama also correctly pointed out, it's only regarding content modules, so to speak. If you have any administrative issues regarding registration or access to the UNISA websites or to our module site, that's something we would not necessarily, unfortunately, be able to assist you with. But please contact us. We will gladly assist as far as possible, and we hope you enjoy this module with us. And yes, please feel free to engage with us on any level, and we hope you enjoy the module. Thank you very much, Mr. Gama. I'll leave it for our next colleague to continue with any comments. Thank you, Nandipa.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Just to congratulate the students for making this choice. You chose wisely, because everything in the world now is around these aspects. So I just want to congratulate you, and I want to say make the best out of it, because you have the whole world in your hand through this program. And again, congratulations, and thank you for taking time to be part of this session. And more in-depth issues will be dealt with through then the presentation that will follow. But for me, I want to congratulate you. You chose wisely. Thank you. Over to you, my colleague.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just going to, so the folders it was meant to be automatically updated, and I'm finding that not all of it is automatically updated. So I'm going to just, actually, good thing that you noticed that. I will just go and see what's happening there. And in the and of course, make sure that whoever had to upload it or does so as quickly as possible. I'm just going to finally just share the last few slides, if I may. So the next class will be on assignment preparations, modes of citation, and plagiarism. And I know we've already started talking about plagiarism, but it is something that we will continuously talk about. And the reasoning behind it is that as lawyers, more so than anybody else, we do have an ethical component to our work going forward. And that is, and any breach of ethical values mean that you cannot work as a lawyer. And you do not ever want to put yourself in that position. We would not like to see you in that position. And we will try our very best by talking about plagiarism and what is it, how to avoid it, and all of those things, to make sure that we equip you to deal with, to make sure that you know and fall into that yeah, you know, in that. So we will, as announcements on times and so forth, we'll share them as we go on. And of course, any communication, remember, will happen through the module site, please. So, you know, go on there. Firstly, of course, all of your reading materials is there. So this is a module that you should be interacting with as much as possible. So please go there and interact. I'm just going to now do this, and I do think that it's a good place to. Hi, Lebogang. I'm just going to mute Lebogang. I hope you don't mind, Lebogang. I don't think you were talking to us. If there are any questions and queries, please do, you know, if you have any questions, do bring them up now. I'm gonna just give ourselves another 10 minutes to anything, any concerns you have, any expectations you'd like addressed, please do so. Anything? No questions? Is everybody happy? Oh, Boitumila, I see you are typing something. I do know students are shy, but you know that we should never be shy. As we wait for Boitumilo to finish typing, anybody else? Michael, Renera, Nicole, Juanita, Aisha, Lintudando. I hope I've got that right. Lebogang, anyone? Are you guys okay? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, great.
Hi,
I'm getting. Yes, go ahead.
Could you kindly confirm if the module has a prescribed book, or is it only a study guide?
Extracts. You know those extracts that are in the folder? That's your reading material from books. That's it. We do not have a study guide. But you will see in the 102 when it's uploaded, that everything should give you an idea of what we are doing. Further, of course, we will have the narrated PowerPoints and to guide you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you for asking, Boitumelo. Yes, every time we upload anything, an announcement will go out. That's the usual modus operandi, so that no one gets surprised. Okay, great. I would just like to thank Advocate Slubo and Professor Herter for being in the class. I really appreciate your inputs. And if I was talking too fast, remember it's being recorded, and I will place this to be available, so that if anybody wanted to go over it again, and for, of course, for the other students. And I really appreciate everyone that is here in the class. Thank you for coming, taking time out of your lunch hour. Yeah, I hope you have a great day further. And we will continue interacting on the My Module site. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gama. Sorry, may I just make one last
Sure.
comment before we go? Hello, can you hear me, Mr.
Yes, go
Gama?
ahead. Yes, go
Yes,
ahead,
my
please.
apologies.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just wanted to say that we haven't posted the first assignment yet. We wanted to do this meeting first, so we'll be posting the first assignment during the course of this week. But we will post an announcement once that is done, but it will hopefully be during the course of this week. So thank you again, Mr. Gama, for your kind presentation. And yes, everyone, thank you very much for joining us and for being part of this module. We look forward to working with you. Have a good day further, and we hope you enjoy the module. Thank you very much from my side.
Thank you so much. I'm stopping the recording now. And thank you everyone for attending. Bye.
thank you very much.